Have you ever tried to master something only to feel like the entire world was testing you? You fail, you repeat, you get frustrated, and after a while, you start to believe that maybe, just maybe, mastery is reserved for the gifted. But what if I told you the truth is much simpler? People don't stay average because they're weak. They stay average because they follow the wrong method. There's a rule that nearly every master in history has used, but it's a secret that's almost never talked about. Today, you're going to learn that rule. And if you apply it, you'll get good at anything 10 times faster. Think about the last skill you gave up on. Was it getting fit? Building a business? Learning to edit, study, write, or even practice martial arts? I bet you didn't quit because it was hard. You quit because your brain didn't feel any progress. Humans can endure almost anything as long as we can see improvement. Here's the catch. Your brain measures progress differently than you do. You measure results, the final outcome. Your brain, on the other hand, measures repetition plus correction. This single difference is why some of the most talented people quit, while the most seemingly average people go on to become masters. So the first thing you need to grasp is this: mastery isn't about doing something 1,000 times. It's about doing something correctly, then correcting it, and correcting it again. Neuroscience has a name for this: myelin strengthening. Every single time you perform a skill with focused attention, your brain wraps that specific neural pathway in a fatty sheath called myelin. This makes the connection faster, smoother, and stronger. You're literally upgrading your brain's hardware. But here's the flip side. When you repeat something while distracted, with your mind wandering, no myelin forms. This is precisely why you can spend years doing something and still remain completely average. You're just going through the motions without building the superhighways in your brain. Ancient warriors understood this principle intuitively, long before we had the science to explain it. Samurai would train slowly, deliberately, repeating the same sword cut over and over until their mind, body, and breath were in perfect alignment. Native American warriors trained through complex rituals that demanded their full, undivided attention. The Greek philosophers practiced what they called arete, the art of excellence through conscious, mindful repetition. None of them rushed. Yet, they improved at a speed that seems almost impossible today, because every single repetition was pure, focused, and corrected. Now, let's look at modern research, which confirms what these masters knew all along. A 2016 study showed that just 20 minutes of what's called deliberate practice produces more progress than 2 full hours of normal, distracted practice. Think about that 20 minutes versus 120 minutes. Another study revealed that your brain learns fastest when 2 specific conditions are met. The skill is slightly uncomfortable, just outside your comfort zone, and you are paying extreme attention. Not 50%, not 70%, but 100% focused. This is the sweet spot, the zone where your brain releases dopamine not from achieving the final goal, but from the act of correction itself. It gets a reward from fixing mistakes. If you can build this habit, mastery stops being a lottery and becomes a predictable, repeatable process. So how do you do it? Here is the simple 3-step method used by masters throughout history and confirmed by science today. First, break the skill into the tiniest possible steps. I mean, smaller than you think is necessary. If you're learning video editing, don't try to edit a whole video. Just practice a single type of transition until it becomes second nature, completely automatic. If you're learning fitness, don't just do a squat. Perfect one single part of the movement, like keeping your chest up until it's flawless. The smaller the step, the faster your brain can upgrade that specific circuit. Second, practice slow. This feels counterintuitive, but it's critical. Slow practice builds faster neural circuits because your brain can clearly see every mistake, every tiny imperfection. Fast practice, on the other hand, just hides your mistakes. It feels productive, but you're actually reinforcing bad habits and destroying your long-term progress. Speed is the enemy of mastery in the beginning. And third, get feedback constantly. This is non-negotiable. Use a coach, a mentor, a mirror, or even just record yourself on your phone. You need something that shows you exactly where you're going wrong. Remember, correction is the engine of mastery. Without feedback, you're just practicing your mistakes. Let me give you a real-world example. There was a guy who wanted to learn the guitar. For 6 long months, he practiced for 2 hours every single day, strumming away, but he barely improved. He was on the verge of quitting. Then, he switched to deliberate practice. He spent just 15 minutes focusing on one chord, another 15 minutes correcting his finger placement using a mirror, and a final 10 minutes playing a simple melody slowly with full undivided focus. In just 4 weeks, he improved more than he had in the previous 6 months. It wasn't because he worked harder, it was because he finally started working correctly. Your path to mastery will look exactly the same, no matter what skill you choose. Pick your skill, break it down into tiny pieces, practice slowly, get constant feedback, and repeat with 100% attention. In the first week, you'll start to see small changes. It will feel different. In the first month, other people will start to notice. And within 3 months, you will cross that invisible line where most people give up. From that moment on, the process doesn't just get easier, it becomes addictive. The progress itself becomes the reward. Mastery isn't magic. It's not a gift. It is a biological process happening inside your brain. And now you know exactly how to unlock it. So I challenge you, take one skill you truly want to master. Just one. Start today using this method. And in 90 days, come back to this video and tell me how your results have shocked you. Thank you so much for watching. If this video helped you, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content that helps you unlock your potential. See you in the next one.